What's good, everybody? My name is Josh, aka JaceTheDon. Welcome back to the channel, and today I know this news is old and I've kind of discussed it on my Instagram some time back, but I thought I'd bring it back because this was a project that I was excited for, but I feel like the treatment of it is not really Thriller 40. Now, if you guys know, all of you know, I'm a big Michael Jackson fan. Grew up with Michael Jackson, grew up on his music. Off the Wall and Thriller are my favorite albums of all time, not knocking the other ones. The other ones are bangers too, but Off the Wall and Thriller, those eras just, I don't know, they really captivate me for some reason. Just really enjoy those eras. And so with Thriller 40, it was announced a couple of months back, and they kind of showed us on Instagram like what the Thriller 40 cover is going to be. Yeah, about that Thriller 40 cover, as soon as I saw that, I was just like, what is this? Like, don't get me wrong, they got the picture down, but the font looks like something from a computer, like Photoshop, like someone photoshopped the cheapest font ever on that cover. I don't like it. I really don't like it, and I feel like, to me, as like someone who enjoys Michael Jackson's music, I feel like it's pretty cheap for you to use like font that just doesn't look right. And to be honest with you, like, I'm not hating on the picture. Like, I know it's for them to keep it familiar with what people know with Thriller, the album. But I kind of wanted like a different image. I wanted like a different picture. Like, for example, like what they did with Thriller 25. Or is it 25? Yeah, Thriller 25, right? They had like the Thriller, like him in his Thriller jacket and whatnot, with all the zombies around him. And if you turn the album certain ways, it kind of like reflects off like a rainbow effect kind of thing. And as a kid growing up, I thought that was so cool, and I still think it's super cool. And I feel like they could have done the same thing with this this album. Like, have a different picture, whatever. Now, if you go on the website, they kind of explain what Thriller 40 and the merch for Thriller 40 is that same font. I don't like it. It's terrible. Like I said, it looks like cheap font that they got off of a Photoshop. Like, I've seen people with better Thriller 40 concepts, and I've done some Thriller 40 concepts myself. I did a whole poll on Instagram where I had a whole array of like concepts that I had, and people were like, man, these concepts are good, like, and these are dope concepts, like, you should like reach out to them. I wish I could, but there's nothing I could do. I mean, it's Sony, for God's sakes. They don't care about the fans, really. I mean, it took them all these years now to take off the fake Michael Jackson songs that were sung by an impersonator that somebody hired. It's on the Michael album. They took them off now, so you won't. You could still find them, but they took them off. And like, I just feel like with the estate, there's so much that they could do, but they don't do it. And they have fans that are diehard fans that would love to see certain things, and then they don't do it. Like, it's just all about money with them, and that's really going to that's going to dismantle their credibility, because they basically just had an estate where it's like, oh, this is a big name, Michael Jackson, right? Like, we can get all this money. Who cares what our fans think? And that seems like that's the kind of attitude they give off. Like, who cares what the fans think? I mean, their Instagram is literally, they post the same pictures every single year, just in a different quality. And most times they're not even in the best quality. You would think that with an estate, they would have Michael Jackson pictures in the highest quality possible. You would think that, right? You would think they would go in and remaster and do all that stuff. No, they don't. they go off of, it seems like they go off of Google and they get their images from there and they're like, oh, we're just gonna post this because why not? Like, what? Come on now. Do better. Now, they did say they were gonna remaster the music videos like Thriller, which you kind of already know that Thriller has been remastered. They kind of, at a time, I didn't get a chance to go see this, but they had like Thriller 3D, I think. It was like they remastered Thriller, the whole music video, nice quality, everything. It just looked beautiful. And from what I heard from people, like, they were saying that they really enjoyed the experience, and it was just fun. So hopefully, I'm excited for that. Like, finally, you're going to remaster the music videos in beautiful quality. I mean, that's something I've wanted for a very long time, and hopefully they'll do all the other music videos and short films like that as well. So, there is a second CD on Thriller 40, which is yet to be announced. I would hope that these are some unreleased songs, though, to tell you the truth, I've pretty much heard, not all, but the ones that are online, a good majority of the unreleased songs from Thriller. So hopefully they'll put in some gems that we've never heard before, because I've heard Got the Hots, I've heard Nightline, I've heard Hot Street, I've heard, hopefully they have a version of Centipede, which it was this song that he was supposed to record, but he ended up giving that song to his sister Reby Jackson, which he actually does have backup vocals on that song. So hopefully there's a version of him singing that song solo. Carousel's another one that's a really good song. I don't want any remixes. That was my only gripe with Thriller 25. I did not like the remixes. The only remix I liked was the will.i.am one, PYT, which was the demo recorded PYT. Can we get the demo recorded PYT on Thriller 42? Because I really do love the demo version. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the original version just as much, but I like the demo version as well. So can we get that? Yeah. I just feel like with the merch, they could do all kinds of stuff. Like, they could have a Thriller shirt, they could have a Beat It shirt, they could have Human Nature, they could have there's a design in the Thriller booklets of the album of The Girl Is Mine. I think it's a picture that Michael drew of him and Paul McCartney pulling on a girl that looks similar to Olive Oil. I think that would be cool as a shirt design, and have The Girl Is Mine on the shirt. There's so many ideas that you could do to make people say, okay, this is something to hype about, because it is Michael Jackson's biggest album, best-selling album of all time. I don't care what anybody says, I don't care what all the records, all that stuff. It is the #1 best-selling album of all time. Michael Jackson is one of the greatest entertainers of all time. And I just feel like if you're going to do him justice, do him justice right. Or just don't do it at all. Again, it's crazy, which you'd expect, but the fans have so much more enthusiastic and love, and they put in dedication. But you have an estate that will hardly put the right font on an album cover, And they say they're trying to stay up to date with the times. You don't need to stay up to date with the times. I mean, look at the Prince estate. Do you see what they did with Sign of the Times? They did so much for Sign of the Times. They didn't need to change the font. They didn't need to change the image. All they did was remaster the music and add unreleased music that we never heard from that era. Why can't you do that with? Why can't Michael Jackson estate do that? And I'm not trying to compare or do all that or start a whole argument because I'm fans of both Prince, Michael Jackson. Let me change that. I'm a fan of music alike. If I like music, if it's something that I rock with, I'm gonna stand by it because I enjoy it. It's not just Michael Jackson, it's not just Prince, it's not just music from the 80s, the 90s. I listen to different genres of music. And that's the amazing thing about music. We can appreciate it for what it is. We can appreciate what we like about it, and if others don't understand it, then so what? That's them. You know, that may not be for them, but it's for me, and I'm gonna like what I like. So I think that's the greatest thing. But yeah, if the Prince estate can do that, like why can't the Michael Jackson estate do that? Again, not trying to compare, but just a thought. And again, like there's just so much you could do. I think doesn't Spike Lee have like an event every single year where he DJs and plays like Michael Jackson's music? Like you could do a whole celebration. Just a whole celebration. Or I remember back when Bad 25 came out, right? They had like this segment or this like thing on BET where there's a guy like talking. They're kind of like talking about the facts of the Bad album and whatnot, and they showed the music videos. Like you could do something like that. Speaking of Spike Lee, I want a Thriller documentary. If you've seen his documentaries, they are goated. His off the wall Motown to Off the Wall documentary is beautiful. His Bad 25 documentary is great. I want a Thriller documentary. And I want Spike Lee to direct it because I feel like he's the only one that can do it right. I want that. Man, the list goes on and on of ideas that I have that they could do. So yeah, that's my take on the Thriller 40, my concerns, my excitements. How do you feel about it? Let me know down in the comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your post notifications. It really does help out the channel. With that, peace out and big love to you all.
I don't need no dreams when I'm by your side. Beat it, beat it, beat it, beat it. No one wants to be defeated. Billie Jean is always talking when nobody else is talking, telling lies and rubbing shoulders, so they call her mouth a motor. Don't you know now is the perfect time? We can make it right in the city lights. It's close to midnight. Something evil's lurking in the dark.